Rhonda, what do you say? You sit on my lap, we talk about the first thing that pops up.
Split this hole.
Ow! Give me frostbite.
Don't talk to Rhonda like that.
You gonna stop him, Pop?
You sure about that?
I'm fine.
She won't even look me in the eye.
Scumbag, you want information dial 411.
The 45. Where'd you get it?
From your grandma.
My grandma. Yeah, she's dead.
All day.
Catch!
Hey, we're closed. Time for reading.
Hey, Bert!
I'm not gonna thank you for And I'm gonna tell you one thing, we are not making it.
Shut your pie hole!
Just show us where he is.
Oh, Vern.
It's all right, Pop. He's at the motel.
Come on.
You wanna dance?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh!
Your dancing days are over, man! What the hell is this?
You know what the Bible says? Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Don't you joke with me, you little chink! I am not! Get out of here.
Drop it! Now turn around nice and slow like. My town! Get to see Coyote! Oh, give me a baby. Stand up! I don't want to kill you laying down. Stand up! Teach you a damn lesson. Knock it off, old man!
The story begins in the Mojave Desert salt flats with a troubled veteran named Eddie Lomax, traveling on his 1950 Indian motorcycle to visit his old friend. Before he can reach his destination, Eddie's motorcycle breaks down, and he collapses from a mix of heavy intoxication and intense heat exhaustion. In his dazed state, Eddie takes another swig of booze and begins hallucinating, seeing Johnny, the very friend he is bringing the vintage motorcycle to as a gift. Overwhelmed by wartime trauma, Eddie grabs his pistol, and for a moment, it looks like he is about to end his own life. However, instead of turning the weapon on himself, he begins to shoot wildly into the empty desert. Just then, a pickup truck arrives carrying the three Hogan brothers, Matt, Jesse, and Petey. The eldest brother, Matt, angrily demands an apology from Eddie because the wild gunfire passed dangerously close to their truck. When Eddie turns around, the hallucination of Johnny vanishes. Matt quickly spots the rare vintage motorcycle and claims it as compensation for the scare. When Eddie refuses to hand it over, Matt strikes him, and the other brothers quickly join in. As the assault is happening, a diner truck passes by on a nearby road, driven by a man named Vern, with a waitress named Dottie in the passenger seat.
Vern, slow down! Somebody is in trouble!
Yeah, it ain't none of our business. I don't want no trouble with the Hogans, and if you're smart, you keep your mouth shut, too.
It's just Vern and Dottie. They ain't gonna say nothing. They better not.
With no one left to help, the Hogans prepare to execute Eddie before loading his motorcycle into their truck. Jesse Hogan hands a silver .45 pistol to Petey and orders him to finish the job. However, when Eddie opens his eyes and looks directly at him, Petey chickens out. Instead of killing Eddie, Petey purposely fires into the ground right next to Eddie's head, lying to his brothers by telling them that he finished him off.
Shots in the head, that's my little brother.
The Hogan brothers ride back into town and stop by the local general store and demand the protection money. When the elderly couple explain that business is slow and they are short on funds, Matt viciously threatens to break their arms if they don't get the money.
Look, Miss Howard, I don't want Petey to get any more upset than he is and ended up breaking both of his arms.
Oh, no, not that, Henry.
Well, looky here, it's a miracle. Hallelujah. Y'all take it easy now.
Have a nice day, man.
I gotta lie down.
Lord, Lord, oh, Lord. That was the Reverend's money.
Meanwhile, out in the desert, the real Johnny Sixtos locates a wounded Eddie. He carries him back to his isolated shack to tend to his injuries. While Eddie is being cared for, the scene shifts deep into the desert, where Ramsey Hogan Sr. is conducting an illegal transaction with his drug buyers. He intentionally timed the meeting so his sons would be there to provide armed backup, but he is forced to do the deal entirely alone because they are nowhere to be found. Just as Ramsey wraps up the exchange and the buyers begin to leave, Matt, Jesse, and Petey finally roll up in their truck. Ramsey heavily scolds and reprimands them for their stupidity and lack of responsibility, pointing out how dangerous it was to be left without protection. While yelling at them, Ramsey spots Eddie's prized Indian motorcycle tied to the back of the truck. He makes it clear that he runs a strictly underground business and wants no unnecessary high-profile trouble with the law or outsiders. Matt confidently brushes off his father's anger, claiming there will be absolutely no trouble because they brutally killed the bike's owner out in the desert.
You sure?
Dead sure. Right, Petey?
Right, absolutely, Dad. No trouble at all. Don't even think about it.
Meanwhile, after weeks of traditional healing by Johnny's 6 toes, Eddie finally wakes up. Johnny credits God and Eddie's own tough spirit for his survival, noting that his injuries were incredibly severe. Eddie then explains the true purpose of his trip, revealing that he had brought the prized Indian motorcycle as a gift for Johnny, but the 3 brothers beat him unconscious and stole it.
You got me a gift and they took it?
Yeah.
They're gonna kill you.
Johnny immediately recognizes the description of the attackers and warns Eddie that the Hogan brothers completely run the town through violence, making any solo revenge mission a suicide run. Take the game trail.
And I'm going to get it back. Which way's down?
Take the game trail.
Driven by vengeance, Eddie refuses any help and insists on going into town completely alone to settle the score and retrieve Johnny's gift. Right as Eddie prepares to leave, Johnny tells him that if he makes it into town, he needs to stop by Rhonda's diner and try her famous apple pie, promising that it is so good it will actually put a smile on Eddie's stone-cold face. Upon finally arriving in the dusty town, Eddie first enters a local pawn shop, where he spots his stolen pistol inside a display case. He demands to know where the men behind the counter got it.
The 45. Where'd you get it?
From your grandma.
My grandma. She's dead.
Eddie quickly and brutally disarms and kills them both. Hearing something from the back room, he investigates and finds an elderly resident named Eli Hamilton, the actual store owner, locked away by the thugs. Eddie frees Eli, who explains that the 2 dead men, Lester and Leon, were actually his cousins. They acted like they wanted to help him run the store, but eventually turned on him and seized control of it.
And then you come along and kill them.
Following this encounter, Eddie heads to the diner and meets Rhonda, who instantly takes a liking to him.
You just passing through?
What do you have?
I would like a piece of your famous apple pie. Eli just told me, and Johnny said that would put a smile on my face.
She introduces him to her Uncle Poe, the owner of the diner, and Jubal Early, a local man who is currently jobless. Eddie recruits Jubal to help dispose of the bodies at the pawn shop. During their conversation, Jubal and Eli Hamilton warn Eddie to be extremely careful with the town's 2 most violent crime families, the Hogans and the Heathens.
Hey, I've got something better than a 45. Follow me.
Eli then arms Eddie with a hidden cache of weapons and ammunition, directing him to the place where the Heathens gang is spending the night. Using Hamilton's truck, Eddie drives to the location and confronts them just as they are targeting 2 young girls.
No, no more dancing. I want to go home and I'm quitting my
No more shooting, please, I beg you, please.
Hey! Can we all just get along?
I don't want to get along.
Hey! You're a very naughty boy.
Thank him, Dad.
Who's next? Drop your guns.
He shoots and kills 3 gang members to save the girls. Before leaving the scene, he intentionally informs the surviving heathens that the Hogan family hired him to eliminate their gang. He sets their motorcycles on fire and drives away with the girls. Afterwards, Eddie rents a room at a local motel run by the elderly couple to watch the chaos unfold. Simultaneously, the leadership of the heathens concludes that the Hogans have broken their truce by hiring an outside assassin. They quickly arm themselves and launch a preemptive strike against the Hogan family. They ambush Ramsey and his 3 foolish sons on their way to town, but the Hogans manage to survive the attack and escape.
Here, I'm paying $500 a head, and that weaselly little rat fuck Ives is mine.
All right, let's just do
I want you to
this.
stay and get some rest.
Consumed with frustration over the heathens' apparent betrayal, the Hogans mobilize their own forces, setting the stage for total revenge. The heathens and the Hogans engage in a full-scale shootout in the middle of the desert. Using Eli's explosives, Eddie detonates the vehicles and fuel supplies belonging to both gangs, preventing anyone from escaping. At last, the heathens and the Hogans realize that Eddie has manipulated them with a classic divide and conquer strategy, turning the 2 factions against each other. Ramsey Hogan quickly figures out that Eddie survived the original desert ambush and furiously scolds his son, Matt, for failing to kill the mysterious motorcyclist.
Pussy, was it me?
In a shocking act of betrayal, Matt turns on his own father and kills him.
Dad, you killed him. You killed him, Matt. You killed him.
You killed him, Peter! Because you didn't shoot that guy like you said you did!
Knowing that Eddie cannot survive a direct confrontation against the now united gangs, Johnny knocks him unconscious, takes his signature hat, and rides off to lure the killers away. The decoy initially succeeds, but Johnny is eventually caught and fatally shot. Eddie returns and kills several gang members in an attempt to save his friend. He carries Johnny back to his shack, but despite his efforts, Johnny succumbs to his wounds. His death ignites Eddie's final and absolute thirst for revenge. Eddie returns to town, and when Vern spots him entering the motel, he immediately calls the Hogans to report his whereabouts. Both gangs quickly arrive and unleash a devastating barrage of gunfire into Eddie's motel room. Once the shooting stops, they send Vern and several heathen thugs inside to confirm the kill. Instead of finding Eddie's body, they discover that the room has been rigged with explosives. A massive explosion tears through the building, instantly wiping out most of the remaining gang members and leaving only Eddie and the 3 Hogan brothers alive.
What the hell is this?
Don't you joke with me, you little chink! I am not joking with...
Eddie corners and kills Jesse Hogan before taking Petey hostage. However, realizing Petey was never truly evil, Eddie spares his life and orders him to leave town for good. Matt catches Eddie at gunpoint and orders him to drop his weapon.
What's the matter? That hurt? Get up! Get up! Stand up, little one! Come on, get up! Need a little hand? Stand up! I don't want to kill you laying down. Knock it off, old man!
Eddie eventually overpowers Matt, despite having the opportunity to kill him. Eddie chooses mercy. Matt, however, retrieves his gun and loads a fresh magazine, preparing to execute Eddie. Before he can pull the trigger, Jubal and Uncle Po intervene, shooting and killing Matt Hogan. To prevent a federal investigation, Eddie leaks a fabricated story to the media, claiming that the sudden wave of deaths was the result of alien abductions. The story concludes with Eddie reclaiming his Indian motorcycle and leaving town alongside Rhonda. As they ride down the highway toward an uncertain future, the spirit of Johnny Sixtos appears beside them, watching over his friend one last time.